Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have kids, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome, glad to have you here. Oh look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee? I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it. Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hey, good morning. I realize that my camera looks absolutely terrible this morning, but that's because I am having some camera issues here, and I'm not sure what's going on. You know, a while ago, I was trying to upgrade kind of my equipment around here, and I got the better microphone, and I'm loving it. And I was trying to upgrade my camera with an existing camera over here that I thought would work and be really good, but I never got that to work actually. And actually, some reason I think it's actually I require some kind of like subscription. I was trying to come up with like the software driver that would run it as a webcam, and then like I think someone may have like wanted a subscription fee. That's like, what's this, a Sony camera or something? I don't know, whatever, some kind of subscription fee in order to get the camera to run. I was like, okay, forget that. So I never upgraded the camera like I wanted to. And now for some reason, the camera that I have been on is non-functional. And so I'm actually using the document camera as my main camera this morning. So the auxiliary camera, I just turned up and used it for, so we'll just see. I might just end up having to get just a dedicated camera for all of this. So anyway, so that's what was going on this morning. So welcome here to the office. Welcome to the, welcome to my home. Welcome to the office and welcome to the morning grind. It is great to see everybody. I know it has been a while. I did have a dentist appointment on Wednesday, so I couldn't make the morning grind. Much needed dentist appointment, so had to get that done. It's the only time I could get it done. So, all right, there was that. It was good to see everybody. We got Robert here. Good morning. Good morning, James. So it feels like it's been a while since I've seen everybody. Robert says Assistance API is a game changer. I don't know that. It's using a top existing framework to enable text adventure to create variable outcomes when weaving narrative, roll dice, report outcome, and write description that the game then responds to. So one character takes an action, outcome reported, and the party reacts to the situation. Really cool. Good morning, Sable. Good morning. Good to see you. I missed you this morning. I saw that you guys had come by. I was working this morning. Hey, PH. All right, found the right one. Good morning, PH. I'm feeling really good. Just kind of reporting in here. I'm feeling really good. I have been more productive over about the past 4 days than I have been in a long time. I wasn't doing really well. I was hitting a slump again for about the last month or something like that. I was hitting a slump. But we got a group that's been meeting in the coffee shop for productivity early on in the morning. So I've been meeting with Doug. And then Sable came by and Retro, and we've been working together, and I was getting some serious work done, trying to work on some projects. So I'm going to continue that. One of the things I was working on is I've got a VTT. I've got the VTT up, the virtual tabletop for tabletop for the Cultists RPG. So that's functional now. I'm working on the video now for how to play in 5 minutes. So I'm putting together the how to play video. I recorded that yesterday and been editing it and been trying to get that put up. So that's really fun. We got the players sit down. We got the courage points. There's not a whole lot that you need for the game, but we've got the tokens, so you can put your tokens for courage over here. The token to indicate who the lead player is. The token to indicate who has sway in any particular scene. I got the dice functional. I got the custom dice here with Rob's janky brand of Cthulhu as the 6. So the dice are functional up here. I've got all the different characters, the character sheets loaded in so you can take them. And then I even made a little token for the different characters, the pre-made characters down here as well. So that's been something that's been on my list for a while, so we can finally get going on with things. So that's really nice. So I'm working on that. Basically trying to hammer at one thing until it's done. So getting that video done. And I may be able to finish that today. I love sleep's been going well. So with the getting up early in the morning, trying to get up at 4 o'clock means you have to go to bed earlier. And I've been knocking myself out with some sleeping pills. So I love that's like, okay, I'm tired. Go and to the bed and immediately fall asleep and don't do doom scrolling. And then when you wake up, hey, people are waiting for you and expecting you to be someplace. So you can't sit there and doom scroll. You got to get in here and get productive. So that's going well. It's turning me around. It's turning me around in a big way. All right. So today we are talking about Advanced HeroQuest. And I don't know. Oh, I think I put up my physical copy. So we're talking about Advanced HeroQuest, and this should be our last week. Hey, good morning, Mike. This should be our last week studying Advanced HeroQuest. I've got to get the find the digital copy here, because there was a section we kind of pretty much got through it and we're taking lots of notes. But one thing that we still had to do was talk about its integration with the original HeroQuest, because there was an integration with the original HeroQuest section in the book. And now it's been so long, I've got to find that digital document again. Let's see. Oh, got it. Okay. All right, let's bring this up. You haven't missed anything, Mike. I was just kind of reporting in on what's going on. There we go. All right, let's get this going. So Advanced HeroQuest, the rules for heroic role play. So we had looked at, had we looked at Advanced HeroQuest? Excuse me. If we looked at advanced, of course we look at solo advanced HeroQuest. Actually, I don't think we've looked at the solo rules. I'm not sure. So we're going to take a look here at HeroQuest. We went through campaigns and between expeditions. So HeroQuest, integrating with HeroQuest, a solo advanced HeroQuest. And of course, the next thing, a big chunk of the back of the book after page 50 is the quest for the Shattered Amulet quest, and then blank sheets in the back. So let's go to page 45. All right. So how do we integrate this with HeroQuest? So there's bringing stuff in. I think this is about bringing some HeroQuest components into Advanced HeroQuest. Because one of the disappointing things about HeroQuest, Advanced HeroQuest, was there was no furniture in it, and the variety of monsters were not all that large in as far as miniatures go. And also no custom dice. And this moved over to D12. So there were reasons for me to be kind of disappointed when I opened the box. Hey, Tomocrat, good morning. Okay, which is disappointing. So I guess in some ways this has been disappointing. This game was disappointing. Now there are some parts of it that we liked as far as rules go. Like I think combat was pretty good. You know, we came up with that. There were things in this that we liked. There were things in this that were very cumbersome. And so a lot of people said reasons why it never really got out to the table. But then there were some reasons to be disappointed with it just from the product perspective, because when I opened it up, I was expecting custom dice because the original HeroQuest had custom dice. I was expecting furniture. I was expecting more miniatures. Okay, but this says, if you own a copy of Milton Bradley's HeroQuest game, the following rules tell you how to use the HeroQuest components in Advanced HeroQuest. These rules are optional, and all the players must agree the rules will be used before the game starts. Oh, breathe and sip. Oh, thank you, Sable. Yeah, we didn't breathe and sip. I got kind of thrown off this morning with the camera situation and all of that. Let's do a breathe and sip. I got my drink right here. Let's take 2 deep breaths. Deep inhales in through the nose, and then complete exhales through the mouth, and then we will take a sip of our favorite beverage. So here we go. Let's breathe. And sip. All right, there we go. Thank you for reminding me, Sable. All right. So HeroQuest characters. If you played the HeroQuest adventures, if you played all the HeroQuest adventures, you can continue your exploration. Of course, now there's how many HeroQuest adventures? You can continue your explorations with the same characters in Advanced HeroQuest. The 4 heroes from HeroQuest are the Barbarian, a Dwarf, a High Elf, and a Wizard. They follow the normal rules for Advanced HeroQuest, but see the High Elf notes below, and the Wizard uses the same spell book. We provided fill-in character sheets for the 4 heroes, which we saw those, although you'll need to write in any quest treasures or magic items that you found in HeroQuest. So this says the High Elf is able to cast spells, though not as well as the Wizard. This is offset by his better fighting abilities. He starts off with a spell book that only contains the dragon armor and open window spells. He can learn more spells by paying for tuition between expeditions, just like a wizard. When the High Elf tries to cast a spell, he must pass an intelligence test, even if the spell doesn't normally require a test. If he passes, he casts the spell as normal. If he fails, the spell does not work and the components are wasted. Oh, so this does, I don't remember what we said about that last time. But this says the High Elf here, if he spells, the spell does not work and the components are wasted. If the spell does not normally require an intelligence test, the High Elf must pass 2 tests. Yikes. If he fails either test, the spell doesn't work and the components are wasted. That sounds like a lot. HeroQuest monsters. It's simplicity itself. It's the way the old school rule books are written. It is simplicity itself to add the monsters from HeroQuest to your games of Advanced HeroQuest. Just use the rules for generating new monster matrices and include the HeroQuest monsters from any of the monster matrices in a dungeon. The characteristics for all the HeroQuest monsters are given in the campaign section. You can, of course, use the Citadel miniatures from HeroQuest in any normal games of Advanced HeroQuest, even if you're not using any of the other rules given in this section. So then we move on to room furnishing. Mike says, would the wizard be limited by the new spell component-based casting system? I would guess so. That sounds like what would happen here. I thought it said something about the... Yeah, and the wizard uses the same spell book. So when it says the wizard uses the same spell book, I'm guessing that means the same as the bright wizard that's in this game. So room furnishings. The room furnishings, table, bookcase, etc. for HeroQuest can be used to make rooms in Advanced HeroQuest more interesting. They also provide interesting tactical problems for the heroes. If you decide to use the furnishing, the GM should roll once on the room furnishings table whenever he places a new room, and then place the appropriate piece of furniture in the room. So you're also... Okay, so this is a new table to roll on. Of course. New table here, room furnishings. Room furnishing tables. Furniture is always placed by the game master. He may place the furniture anywhere in the room, so long as it does not block any entrances. The fireplace, cupboard, weapons rack, and bookcase must be placed against one of the walls of the room. Any model may never enter a square that contains a piece of furniture, and furniture obscures line of sight for any missile weapons. We need height. The height of characters, and doesn't have to get down to the... And also objects in the room. It doesn't have to get down to number of inches, but like a height, like is in Kings of War, I think, when you're talking about different units. Because you might be able to see over the table and shoot someone, I think. So from room furnishings, so 1 to 6, nothing, rolling a D12 here. Let's see. So, and then it looks like there's additional rules for each one of these different types of furniture. So fireplace. Any model may grab a burning log from the fireplace instead of making an attack. The log may be used in combat with the same effect as a dagger. If it's used against a mummy, any hit causes the mummy's ancient bandages to burst into flames, automatically killing the monster. Oh. Cupboards. I guess if you happen to roll a fireplace near a mummy, then that's a cool thing that can happen. Cupboard. A hero may search the cupboard during the hero player phase of the exploration turn. Roll on the turntable below to find out what the cupboard contains. A cupboard may only be searched once. I guess this is kind of the original Axion Quest cards that we got here. So that I enjoyed using. A hero may search. Tomocrat says, though, wouldn't there be a chance to get burned grabbing a burning log? Well, that's what I kind of thought. It doesn't say it is simplicity itself to grab a burning log from the fireplace. It doesn't say that. But it doesn't have anything down here. Oh, look, Amanda Fisher says, I just found this series. Glad I caught it live. I love seeing Advanced HeroQuest getting more love on YouTube. We've been playing with Enhanced Advanced HeroQuest 2E that released a month or so ago. Oh, and I don't know anything about that. Enhanced Advanced here. First of all, let's take a sip for Amanda. So, Amanda, here's to you for being in the comments. First time I've seen you in the comments. Welcome, welcome. Enhanced Advanced HeroQuest. Let me look that up. It just released a month ago. Oh, another thing, by the way, that has been going on is that I did get this. I just got these in a couple of nights ago. I put it on the Discord server, but I did get my Super Nintendo controller in. And I don't play a lot of video games, but I've been going through some of the older ones on Nintendo. That was like a year ago. Well, I kind of want to play Zelda Link to the Past, and I got the Super Nintendo controller in, and I did confirm that it works. Okay, so that was also happening. I just saw my game, my test game of Zelda up as I was changing over my windows. Enhanced, advanced, HeroQuest. Well, that looks like a really old thing right here. So this is a fan rule set that fixes some of the problems with the rules and adds features like overland travel. Did you find what, Mike? Did you find I found enhanced advanced HeroQuest.blogspot.com. Okay, thank you. You may not be able to put it in the comments though. Oh, here's something from June 10th. Enhanced. I found. I'm on Board Game Geek at the moment. Okay, here. Let me. I haven't checked all of these links right here, but this is Board Game Geek. Updated rule book. Updated character cards. Oh no, that's okay. This what we're that's perfectly okay. It sounds like something we should know about. Oh, I found a Google Drive. It's too big to preview. Let me try downloading. Well, I'm downloading. Yep, that's it. Okay, so Amanda says that is it. Okay, so there we go. Amanda says we downloaded them and had them all professionally printed. I'm trying to download something right now. Here. Well, no, it's still downloading. Just a second, and I'll check it out. Here, let me. I'll also put that Board Game Geek link. In the morning grind. Enhanced, advanced, HeroQuest. Okay. Let me take this. Let me take this down. We may end up having to look at this later, like on a later stream. There we go. It looks nice. Advanced HeroQuest Advanced, Enhanced, second edition. Well, they did do a really nice layout. They did a really nice layout on this. I noticed. I think I saw on there was also a white version. So if you're trying to print it or something like that, but they did a lot of nice work here. So I would be interested to know what they cleaned up, because like we're talking about. I wonder if they cleaned up the generation of the dungeon, how much they improved that. Maybe not much, because then maybe it wouldn't have become Advanced HeroQuest. We do have, let's see, between expeditions, campaigns, quest generator. Oh, quest generator. That's interesting. I was looking for something about outdoor stuff. So alternate room generation, quest room selection, room furnishings is here. Reusing dungeon sections, mapping. Well, we got a lot more. It looks like a lot more magic here. Tremors in the warp, the intelligence test, the elf fighter mage, the rune smith, the warrior priest spell book. Okay, so it does look like. I mean, seems like it's very well done. Magic robes and cloaks. I see stuff added. Henchmen, captains, elf war dancers, campaigns. Heroic abilities, HeroQuest, solo. Is the overland travel rules in the quest generator 86? Very nicely laid out. Oh, it added an overland travel map with all of the adventure sites. Okay, well, we might have, yeah, Tomocrat says more stuff for the grind. Yeah, so it does look like it. So that's where we're doing a study of adventure games like this. So it would probably, oh, no, it's not in the main rules. Okay, yeah, so there's a bunch of different PDFs that were on that Google Drive. Okay. Okay, yeah, exactly right, Mike. Mike says that's why we need more people to join us for this. What a find. Thank you, Amanda Fisher. Yes, thank you, Amanda. Okay, so yeah, so we will take a look at that. So there was some kind of list over here about different adventure games to look at. We may have to look at all the different material, especially there's different PDFs about overland travel. Enhanced, I don't know where my sheet of paper is. It's probably under something. I started to get my desk cleaned up a little bit, but well, I'll put right down over here. Enhanced Advanced HeroQuest. Thank you, Amanda. All right, let me stop that. Go back over here. All right. So, fireplace. Okay, so fireplace. Then cupboard. Says a hero may search the cupboard during the hero player phase of the exploration turn. Roll on the table below to find out what the cupboard contains. A cupboard may only be searched once. 1, a rat is lurking in the cupboard. It viciously bites the hero's hand before he's able to kill it. The hero's weapon skill is reduced by -1 for the rest of this trip unless he drinks a healing potion. Here, let me put the Discord link out. Raven, keep Discord. So once again, you're rolling something, you get your hand bit. 2 to 9, the cupboard is bare. 10 to 11, find 25 gold crowns or a healing potion on a 12. The weapons rack, any model may take a weapon from the rack. Roll on the table to see what the rack contains. 1 to 2, nothing. 3 to 4, spear. 5, 3 spears. 6 to 7, 6 arrows again. 6 arrows. D12, 12 arrows. No, excuse me, D8 on a D12, 12 arrows. So you do get 12 arrows right there. 9 to 10, 1 sword, 1 axe, or roll twice. The weapons rack was always one of my favorite things to find in the original HeroQuest, although I was often disappointed that you didn't get all that, great equipment with it. So maybe that fixes some things. Bookcase. The hero may search the bookcase during the hero player phase of the exploration turn. Roll on the table below to find out what the player finds. The bookcase may only be searched once. 1 to 10, nothing of interest. 11, a spell book. You knew it was going to be a spell book containing 4 spells. Roll on a table for magic wands to determine which spells are in the book. Or 12, a treasure map. It says the GM must give the heroes a treasure map. There are no spell rules for the table or the rack. No special rules for the table or the rack. Okay, so the HeroQuest treasure and map items, magic items, have the following effects in Advanced HeroQuest. Potion of Healing and Potion of Strength, they work the same way as the Advanced HeroQuest, potions of the same name. Potion of Speed may be drunk at the start of any combat turn. As long as the hero is not in an enemy death zone, it doubles the hero's speed for the duration of combat. So you can't run through the death zone. Potion of Resistance may be drunk at the start of any combat turn as long as the hero is not in an enemy death zone. So potion drinking can't be done in the death zone. It increases the hero's toughness by 1 for the duration of combat. Heroic Brew, free attack. Borin's armor counts as mithril armor, but does not affect the hero's speed in any way. Talisman of Lore increases intelligence by 2 points. when casting a spell. Orc's Bane, free attack when fighting orcs. Spirit Blade, +1 weapon skill, +1 strength. Also automatically kills any undead creature that it hits. Nice. Wand of Recall stores up to 3 spells. The spells that are stored in the wand must be written down in the wizard's character sheet, and the correct components sacrificed to the wand before the expedition begins. One of the spells can be cast at any time on the wizard's turn, even if he would not normally be allowed to cast a spell. Thus, the wand could be used to cast a spell if the wizard was running or engaged in combat, or could be used to cast a second spell after the wizard had cast a normal spell the same turn. Only the wizard who stored the spells in this wand may use it to cast any spells, although another wizard could take the wand and store his own spells in it. Okay, so that's if you're taking HeroQuest and you're moving it into Advanced HeroQuest, but what if we're going the other way? We want to take some Advanced HeroQuest and we want to put it in the original HeroQuest. So it says you can play the original HeroQuest, or I would call it Zone of Control. The Bacon says it should be called the danger zone and not the death zone. Then our heroes could be on the highway to the danger zone. We could give the name of the barbarian Kenny Loggins. I think Death Zone's a weird name anyway. The joke aside, I would have called it Zone of Control. Now, I think we actually need that as we keep going on, because I like the idea about, okay, HeroQuest does, with its kind of just adding on rules kind of in a hacky way, does later say that you can't do certain things like trade if you're next to a monster. Maybe it never said you can't drink a potion if you're next to a monster. But if you're trying to do something that you're next to a hostile creature, you should not be able to. Sable Phoenix says, member for 15 months, says, if anyone hasn't yet, please like the stream. Let fellow geeks know of it and subscribe, of course, so you don't miss grinding with us twice a week. Yeah, we're ordinarily going Wednesdays and Sundays now. Thank you very much, Sable. There was something else I was about to say. Oh, yeah, Tuesday night on the Table Talk channel, Brianna and I are going to be discussing Genesis from the literary perspective through basically creation and the Adam and Eve story. So we're going to be studying that. And I just thought about that because I see the study Bibles over there. I went back and I just listened to them the other day, those chapters the other day, and now I'm going to block out a couple of hours to go through the study Bibles and put notes. So Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, we'll be talking about Genesis, the first 4 chapters or something like that, if you would like to prepare for us. And then also, I am close to finishing the Odyssey, my Odyssey audiobook. That's been slow. I think I prefer the Iliad. I know I prefer the Iliad. Some of the parts of the Odyssey I absolutely loved, of course, and are fantastic. But other parts of it, man, that one slows. That one gets slow. So we'll also do the Odyssey soon. Let's see. Hey, Jason. Good morning, Jason. Just as far as preparation for the week, there are still a lot of big topics on Table Talk to cover. Bacon Gaming says, I'm very interested to see just how close HeroQuest can come to a tabletop RPG without actually crossing that line. It always thought that it was extremely close as it is, but there's way more room, apparently. Oh, Jason says, yeah, I'm being productive by working on a hex crawl map. I'm listening while I'm at work. Excellent. Okay, so special rules. It says you can play the Advanced HeroQuest adventures using the Advanced HeroQuest rules. Replace the HeroQuest rules for movement, combat, and magic with the Advanced HeroQuest rules. Use the HeroQuest rules for placing monsters, searching, treasure cards, and so on. So movement, combat, and magic get pulled out of the original, and the Advanced HeroQuest gets plugged in. Use the rules for placing monsters, searching, treasure cards, and so on. Whenever a hero is directed to lose 1 body point, he must lose 1 wound or 1 fate point instead. All monsters that are encountered are assumed to be of the standard type, not champions or warlords, unless stated otherwise below. So Sir Ragnar counts as having a weapon skill and toughness of 7 and a speed of 6. He has 2 wounds remaining and is not allowed to attack or run. Ulog has the characteristics of an orc warlord. Grak has the characteristics of an orc champion. By the way, Grak is the orc in the room with the torture rack. I was about to say, I don't remember Grak. Okay, so the orc in the Grak is the orc in which quest? I guess that's just one, by the way. Grack is the orc in the room with the torture rack. I'll look for that. If you see an orc in a room with a torture rack, okay, that's Grack. Make it an orc champion. In the Stone Hunter adventure, what is the Stone Hunter adventure? The Chaos Warriors have their toughness increased by 1. Balor and the Witch Lord have the same characteristics and spell as an evil sorcerer. Remember, the Witch Lord can only be harmed by the Spirit Blade. Using the HeroQuest board. You can use the large HeroQuest map board in your advanced HeroQuest games, and I would like to do that because I've got the major jumbo size 3D board. You can use the large HeroQuest map board in your advanced HeroQuest games to add a maze-like level to a dungeon. You can decide in advance which stairs are going to lead to this maze. For example, the first set of stairs going down from the second level, or you can roll on it each time the stairs are found with a roll of 1 or 2 on the die indicating that you are now in a maze. If the heroes decide to go down the stairs to the maze, clear the table of any already placed rooms, furniture, corridors, and replace them with the HeroQuest map board. Place a set of stairs on the board as shown on the diagram below. The HeroQuest board is split into rooms, passages, and junctions. Junctions are the shaded squares marked with the diagram. A passage is a set of squares joining two junctions. Some passages start off always blocked by rubble, as shown in the diagram. Roll on the maze passage features the first time a hero stands at a junction square that allows him to see down the previously unexplored passage. Then roll on the maze junctions table to see if the junction at the end of each passage is open or blocked. Only roll for the passages that actually join the junction on which the hero is standing. Of course, you don't have to roll in the maze junction table if the end of the passage is already blocked by rubble. Maze passage feature table, of course. Rooms. Roll on the maze rooms table and the maze rooms door table the first time a hero can see into a room. Maze rooms, empty, hazard room, wandering monsters, or stairs to the next level. How many doors there are. So they come up with new tables to generate what is inside this. It says, secret doors. A hero may search for secret doors in a room which has no doors except for the one he entered by. He may search one wall section per exploration turn, provided he started the room in the rooms. You're still searching section by section or wall by wall. He can't search the wall that already has the door. The player must state which wall the hero is searching before he rolls on the secret door table. A hero starts an exploration turn in a room may search for hidden treasure instead of secret doors. Roll 2 dice on the hidden treasure table. Dungeon counter for the game master, nothing, 5d12 gold crowns, or hidden magic treasure. Wandering monsters. Goblins, 2 goblins, 4 goblins, zombies, 1 chaos warrior, 3 skeletons. For the maze level, you can use the same wandering monster matrix you're using for the rest of the dungeon. You can even design a special matrix just for the maze, or you can use the maze wandering monster table below. This is based on some of the Citadel miniatures from the HeroQuest box. The characteristics of these monsters are given in the campaign section. Well, let's look at the solo play. Let's see what's going on over here. Yes. Of course, it was the original one. The original Milton Bradley one. But now, yeah, it would be the one that's in that box, which is larger than the one that was in the original box. All right, solo advanced HeroQuest. The solo rules allow you to play advanced HeroQuest. Oh, yeah, we got plenty of time. The solo rules allow you to play the advanced HeroQuest game when you're on your own. In the solo game, you're the leader, the expedition mapper. You got to map it yourself, too. The hero players and the GM all rolled into one. Most of the normal game rules are used with a few minor variations. For example, the tactics the monsters encountered in the dungeon are decided by a set of special rules that tell you how they move and attack. As well as playing solo games simply for the fun of it, you can use them as a way to test out new tactics and practice coordinating the actions of your heroes and henchmen. If you designed a quest location, you can play through it using the solo rules before you let your players loose in it. That way you can check to see if it's balanced and works well as you think it should. You can also use the maps that you generate while playing solo as the basis for future games. Okay, preparing for play. Because I mean, I would like to be able to do GMless, so a GMless game. So let's see what they're doing here. Of course, there's all kinds of tables, and we were talking about that we have some rather clumsy dungeon generation with all these tables, but it does allow for the solo play. Preparing for play. Oh yeah, Mike is talking about what great conversations that Bacon Gaming has on his channel, which is still newly started. So please make sure you also go over there and subscribe to James Bacon's channel. You can decide before you begin to play how large the dungeon you're exploring is going to be. You could choose to have only a single level dungeon and therefore ignore all stairs that lead down, or you could just follow the random generation tables and let the dungeon get as big as it can. You should also choose the monster matrices you're going to use. To start with, you can simply use those we've provided in the quest for the Shattered Amulet. Once you've designed some of your own matrices, you can choose any of those instead. If you want to just explore the dungeon and fight any monsters you meet without having an overall objective, if you want, you can just explore the dungeon and fight any monsters you meet without having an overall objective. However, like a normal game, a solo game is much more fun if you've got specific objectives to meet. The easiest way to do this is to choose some character monster to be encountered in the quest rooms. For example, you could pick 6 of the character monster counters provided in the box, draw 2 at random from the quest room. For each quest room you enter, each pair of character monsters has a random magic item, which one of them will use against the heroes if possible. These magic items are the quest treasures, and the heroes need to kill all 6 character monsters and collect quest treasures to successfully complete their quest. Other than any character monster counters you decide to use, place the dungeon counters to one side. They are not used in the solo quest. Okay. Exploration turns. The dungeon is generated using the normal rules. Okay. Obviously, all the dice and the placement of the doors and rooms are made by you. So what happens in the GM phase? You should roll a die for each GM phase and consult the following table. 1 trap, 2 to 11, nothing, 12 wandering monsters. Trap. Pick 1 member of the party at random and roll on the rooms and passage column of the traps table. The hero or henchman that was picked must roll to see if he spots the trap. If he does, the trap has no effect. If not, the trap goes off with effects noted on the traps table. Okay, so how are they handling traps? This is not moving on to in a solo, because we're talking about how do you handle traps in a solo game like this. So they are randomly determining a trap during the game master phase, randomly determining a hero, and then going through the process for spotting it and whatever else. You can also generate wandering monsters according to those rules. Heroes may search for secret doors using the normal rules. Only a roll of on a roll of a 1 on the secret door table, the heroes encountered a group of wandering monsters. I think the heroes otherwise would have gotten the one would have allowed the game master to draw a token. But we're not using that, so they go immediately to wandering monsters. The heroes are not allowed to search for hidden treasure in solo games. Interesting. Combat turns. The following rules govern the placement and movement of the monsters that are encountered in the dungeon. We have a designer's note here. You will find solo advanced HeroQuest far more enjoyable if you use the rules as guidelines and apply a bit of common sense to how the monsters attack. Try to imagine what you would do as the GM if you had to move the monsters within these restrictions, and then give yourself as hard a time as possible. While this will obviously make it harder to win, victory will be much sweeter. So it says you can place the monsters in any order you want, as long as any monster armed with ranged weapons or spells are placed after the monsters armed with only hand weapons. The first monsters must be placed in a square as close to the party member as possible. If the monsters can be placed in a square away from which they can make an attack, if the monster can be placed in a square from which it can make an attack, it must be placed in that square. Any remaining monsters must be placed in a square adjacent to an already placed monster. Then you roll to see if either side is surprised. If the monsters are surprised, you may move any of the monsters up to 1 square. If the heroes are surprised, the monsters are not moved, but the heroes lose their first turn. Okay, I guess that was GM's phase for exploration. Okay, yes, because we're about to talk about GM phase again. So that's during the exploration phase. The trap or the wandering monsters is the GM's turn during the exploration phase. We have a GM phase during the combat turns as well. Yeah. So at the start of each of the GM phase of the combat turns, roll a die on this tactics table to decide what the monsters will do. Note there are two parts of the table, one for use if all monsters are armed with hand weapons, and one for use if one or more monsters have a ranged weapon. 1 reinforcements, 2 to 6 move and attack, 7 to 12 attack and move. Because that's different in this game. Move and attack is different from attack and move. They got to choose. I remember that. D12, if you've got both ranged weapons and hand-to-hand, reinforcements, move and attack and move, or ranged attack. So reinforcements. Roll up a random group of wandering monsters and place them according to the rules above. Then carry on with the turn. If any monsters use move and attack, all the monsters will use move and attack this turn. Move and attack, all monsters move and attack and move, all monsters attack and then move. Ranged attack, monsters with hand-to-hand weapons move to allow those with ranged weapons to make an attack. So the following rules apply whenever a monster is moved using attack and move or move and attack. Each monster armed with hand-to-hand weapons should be moved to a square from which it can make an attack if possible. If no such squares are available, the monster gets as close to the party as possible, running if it has to. Each monster armed with a ranged weapon or spells moves to a square from which it can make an attack or cast a spell. The square cannot be adjacent to a hero or a henchman. If that's not possible, the monster does not move. That's for ranged weapons. Monster with a ranged weapon doesn't move unless it's in a hero's death zone, in which case it moves away. Each monster armed with hand-to-hand weapons moves in such a way as to allow those with ranged weapons to have a clear line of sight to the heroes and henchmen. Any monster that can make an attack does so. If it has a choice of targets, it attacks the target with the lowest weapon skill. If the target's weapon skills are tied, the monster attacks the one with the lowest toughness. If the target's toughness scores are also tied, decide who the monster attacks randomly. Magic using monsters that have more than one spell, choose one at random out of those available. Any monster that makes an attack with a weapon that has an area of effect attacks the target, so it affects as many heroes as possible. So that's it. So, Robert says this is helpful. So this has been useful. Robert says this is helpful. I wonder how AD&D First Edition handled solo play. This seems to have AI applications. Yeah, it's got. I think it is. You're basically you've got the monster with its algorithm here. Not nearly as complicated as the monster algorithms in Gloomhaven. This must be a little solo adventure or something. Tabaro's Bane. The city of Tabaro is under siege. The city fathers are in disarray, and the whole community is in imminent danger of collapse. The reason behind this disaster is a recent rise in the power of a nearby Skaven clan, which is now led by a powerful Skaven sorcerer, Claw Darkheart. The Skaven, a swelling tide of vicious killers that burst out of Tabaro's sewers in the early hours, have imposed an involuntary curfew on the city's inhabitants, who can no longer walk the streets without fear of losing their lives. The foul creatures swarm in their thousands as they spill into now empty streets. Claw Darkheart at the head of their ranks. The city fathers have resorted to their last option. In the emergency council, they decided they must summon outside help. They have offered rich rewards to any heroes that can aid them. You have answered their call. So special rules. The heroes party consists of 4 heroes, 4 men-at-arms, and 1 sergeant. The henchmen have been provided free by the city fathers to aid the heroes on their quest. The objective of the quest is to kill Claw, the Skaven sorcerer, the mastermind of the Skaven attack on Tabaro, and thus prevent the clan's attack on the city. After exploring 3 dungeon levels, the heroes will find Claw and kill him, or they'll die in the attempt. If they defeat him and return to the surface, the heroes win the game. Unlike normal advanced hero quests, the heroes have only one expedition with which to find Cankerclaw, as there simply isn't enough time to mount a second expedition. This means that if the heroes succeed, they automatically receive 2 fate points. The dungeon is on 3 levels. Each level is generated randomly using the normal rules, except any stairs down that are found in a passage are actually stairs out of the dungeon. The stairs down, okay, so any stairs that are found in a passage are stairs out. The stairs down are only found in the first quest room discovered on levels 1 and 2. Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. Mike, Advanced HeroQuest could benefit a lot from automation given the tables and whatnot. I mean, probably you could do that pretty easily with just like a Python script or something like that. If you did want to play it with all of the tables for the dungeon generation, especially if you're playing online, just have a script that generates what you see. You know, what am I going to generate that? You still have to lay it all out, though. Skaven says, use the monster matrices from the quest for the Shattered Amulet to roll up the monsters in the dungeon. If the heroes escape from a group of Skaven, the surviving Skaven return to the room or passage from where they were first encountered. If the heroes pass through this area again, they are attacked by the survivors. Quest rooms. Each level of the dungeon has only one quest room. If the heroes carry on exploring the level, any quest rooms rolled up are later replaced by layers. Each quest room has a set of stairs down to the next level. The monsters rolled on the quest room matrix and one or more of the character monsters. Level 1, character monster assassin. Level 2, plague monk and warp weaver. Magic item, warp scroll. 3, plague censer bearer, warlord, sorcerer. Plague censer bearer, warlord, and sorcerer. The plague censer, the rune sword, and the ring of protection. If the heroes kill the character monsters, they can take their magic items. However, they can't use the warp scroll or the plague censer. Only clan pestilence skavens are trained to use those items. So I guess that's an example of one you're supposed to play solo. And then you get to the quest for the Shattered Amulet. So there we go. That's our Warhammer Advanced HeroQuest quest, which actually takes up a significant number of pages. There's a lot in here, and of course, and it's already specified. Its layout is already specified, at least in some key locations. The Amber Room. Now we are to the end. Character reference monster matrix, and we're to the back now. So there we go. Robert says, absolutely, that would work. I'm discovering there isn't a condition-based mechanic that Python or JavaScript can't handle. ChatGPT would probably help get that up. I tried getting the Knave character generator functional as a Discord bot so that you could have it. I had the Python out for all of the original Knave character generators, but I was never able to get it hooked up to a Discord bot. But you could also, but I think it could be done. I just didn't have the skills or know-how to. I was trying to get it done, but I never was successful. But I guess you could do the same thing with an Advanced HeroQuest generation bot. Write it up in Python and then try to have it run in like as a Discord bot. Seems like it would work. I don't have the tech know-how to do it. Might be able to get it figured out, but it was rather aggravating when I was trying to get the other one going. All right, well, that is Advanced HeroQuest. So I guess we have enhanced Advanced HeroQuest to look at too. We want to look at Warhammer Quest. I was going to move into Warhammer Quest, then the original Warhammer Quest, and then also talk about Shadows of Brimstone. And then we also had this League of Dungeoneers that we were talking about that we wanted to take a look at, which I had never heard of. Might have to check out League of Dungeoneers. All right, there is a lot going on. I'm going to try to get some work done. I am well rested. I am energized. I'm going to get some food here, and then I'm going to continue working on that video about how to play the Cultist RPG, and we're going to keep going on. So, all right, everybody, I will see you in the Discord server. It was a pleasure hanging out with you today. Have a wonderful day. Go forth, be creative, and be constructive. I'll see you in the Discord server, and then on Tuesday on the Table Talk channel for my discussion of Genesis with Brianna. Later, everybody.